All right, I think we are officially live. Uh, friend Josh and I just went to go see the new Predator movie, Predator, which is the same title as the first Predator,
Yeah,
and it kind of
yeah.
even feels a little bit like a remake, a little bit. But I guess
I just don't know where to start.
yeah,
Oh my, this
because
is
we
so.
we were thinking about seeing The Nun
Yeah.
at first. We couldn't really decide which one we'd rather watch today. And I was I was like just as excited for The Nun as I was for this.
Yeah.
Like not much.
You know,
Didn't
I had,
expect anything.
I didn't have too many expectations, but for some reason I thought this was gonna be like a really good movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that. That was fucking dumb. I shouldn't have
Well,
done that.
we so all right, so we headed out to our local Cinetopia. We actually got here. I used to work at this Cinetopia
Yeah.
actually, and our a really good friend of ours is the GM here.
Yeah.
At least I think he's a GM, and
Let's
we
have
got
some popcorn, dog.
got some free popcorn. It was a good setting.
Good looks, Trevor. Preach.
Yeah, seriously. Then I got in the theater and there was like nobody in there.
Yeah,
There was like this
nobody
old
in there.
couple.
In 10 minutes before the movie starts, there's still no
There's
sound
no audio. Yeah,
for all of the commercials.
yeah. Finally, we got our previews that did have audio.
And I will say, the last time, I think what they did is, some reason something was wrong with the audio, but then they turned it up even more.
Right. Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
An old guy made a comment like, "I can't hear them." So there
Right,
must have
yeah.
been like, "Fuck it, it's just the old people." And
Yeah,
it's
it was
and it, like,
so
it
loud.
hurt my ears
Yeah.
at certain points. Like I've never been in a theater and been like this before. Maybe
Yeah.
no, never. It was
yeah.
outlandish, and that whole movie, at least the soundtrack, was just like so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people might
Well,
complain
even-
about horror movies and like, oh no, the sting, and you're supposed to
Right.
scream that. And, like, this was just audio explosion porn. Like,
Any
crazy.
I think I know the answer to this, but any trailers that you liked right off the bat?
I mean, we're gonna go see Halloween. We're just
Yeah.
not gonna go see it.
Yeah, Halloween does look good. Like I said during the trailer, you forget how good of an actress Jamie Lee Curtis is. There are a lot of movies that are like classics, and then they do a sequel or something all these years later, and they bring back like, I mean, it would be like if they did Back to the Future, and it's like, oh, we want to have Marty McFly, and we'll get Michael J. Fox, and with Michael J. Fox, it's like, but. Just because it's a novelty. But with Jamie Lee Curtis, she's actually good.
Yeah.
And she looks like she's honestly giving a good performance in Halloween. So
And it's written by Danny McBride, which is like, I love him to death. So I want to see what kind of horror movies he brings to the table. Like what kind of references or what kind of writing styles are gonna be in this. I don't know what I'm saying.
Halloween looks good.
I still just can't even think straight after seeing Predator. It was like. I the entire film like, what the fuck is going on? There's just sorry. I mean, there's other trailers that I'm excited. Like,
yeah, that was about it.
But
for
no,
me.
seriously, like, this movie was so crazy.
And the movie just like started, and it's like it was like 2 hours.
Yeah, I said I was going to originally give it like huge props for fucking just starting right in there. I thought the title screen was sick.
Didn't fucking stop. Like. The one thing that I will give it is like it didn't try to do what the other Predator movies do in like keeping the monster like they don't show the Predator. He's like invisible through most of the film.
Yeah,
it's probably due to like budget stuff usually, but
it helps build suspense and made him more terrifying.
This one was like the first scene you see is the spaceship crashing, and then you just see this motherfucker just like get up and walk across the screen, and it's like, all right, first thing we see. First thing you see is just this big ass Predator.
Yeah,
too.
they're gnarly. I mean, I'll give the special effects team. That's the practical effects team did good work.
Yeah,
the CGI was just kind of like it was.
Yeah, the CGI was pretty hit and miss. But yeah, the movie gets right into it. The one thing I will say that I thought right in the beginning was I always think that it's funny that predators always crash land on our planet, and they always crash in like South America in the
Yeah.
jungle. It's like most of our planet is
Isn't
water.
like that, yeah.
Like, don't you think he would like?
Kind of
odds
chilling
are
on the beach somewhere, like
right.
I don't know. Yeah, and this is so weird because we were in the jungle for quite a bit of it, but even then there was so much like, oh, now we're in a neighborhood. No,
Right,
what
yeah.
would Predator do in your house? Oh no.
This movie had like a bunch of little side stories that could have been like its own funny little thing, because right, so the Predator crash lands, and it just so happens that there's like this military operation going on, and they're like killing drug cartel, and then the Predator crash lands, and one of the soldiers ends up like stealing the Predator helmet and a little thing, little bracelet thing, and he like mails it. He goes to like this bar in Mexico and is like, hey, you know,
Kinda,
Padre,
yeah.
like send this to this address, and then he gets like arrested by the U.S. military.
It wasn't El Jimador, but it was Don Julio, I think. Best like product placement in a movie I've seen in a while.
Oh, him taking
like,
the shot, yeah.
Shot glass. Oh man.
But then it like cuts to his family, to his son who's got Asperger's, and his wife, and they receive the package that's got this Predator shit that he sent home.
You could have shipped it anywhere else. You put your whole family in danger by
and then like it follows the Asperger kid who gets teased all the time, and now he's got this Predator stuff, and it's around Halloween time, which could have been its own.
Yeah.
Like that could have been funny, right?
Yeah.
That could have been actually like its own movie. This like, you know, geeky kid gets this Predator shit and basically turns into a predator.
I'm just so like, yeah, the movie felt like every 15 minutes was someone else's like new version.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you got 10 minutes. You got a Predator remake. What the fuck would you do? There's gonna be a bigger Predator with like dogs. And then wait, okay, you get a chance. All right, we make a Predator suit, so we can fight Predator. Okay, now you get 15 minutes. All right, the guy from Key and Peele, he should be in this movie. That's not really a Predator thing, but okay, yeah, you get. It was so all over the
totally
place.
does. It does. It feels like a group writing project
Oh,
from like
yeah.
school or something, where it's like every so often the next person has to just write the next 10 pages, and then someone else because you're right.
Yeah.
There's like the point where it's like, oh, Jake Busey is in this, and it's like, oh, someone had the idea to bring him in because Gary Busey was in the second one, so let's bring and then he's like, he's there and then he's gone. He has like 3 scenes, and then he's like, you don't even see him die. He's just like,
he was one of the better actors in the whole thing.
Like,
you know,
get the Predator.
Oh, and the best part, there aren't any good, I mean, best parts, this is all kind of just like, holy shit, what did I just watch? But no, when there's a whole bunch of motorcycles lined up outside and they're trying to escape from the Predator, what the fuck you guys are gonna say? Get to the chopper!
Yeah.
Like, but they don't do it like Arnold, but it was still
And then
God damn it.
They had the other line, because I'm pretty sure, I haven't seen all the Predator movies, but I've seen the first 2 and then Alien vs. Predator. And they always have, like Arnie's line from the first one is, oh, you're one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they always do that, and in this one it's the girl, right? She's like, you're one beautiful motherfucker, right? Because she's the...
In Olivia Munn, I mean, she could literally read the dictionary, not go pay $9 to go see her in a movie, but man, her agent sucks ass at getting her movies that like have anything like decent going on. I don't know. I really like her, but I just forgot she was in the movie till the end, and then like this one thing I was like, oh shit, she's still in the movie.
Right,
but
yeah.
what the fuck? It's totally.
But they do that. Like, what happened to the Predator dogs? Like, there was the one and then it was the end, and then it was like there's a fight, and they forgot to show us.
Arguably, the pit bull in the movie was more dangerous by the end,
right?
Than the space pit bulls or whatever the fuck. I
right,
don't know.
And then the normal pit bull, the Earth.
That's what I was afraid of more.
But like, it like sets it up too, where it's like, oh, that dog's gonna like help them. It's gonna like come back. I kept thinking like, oh, that pit bull's gonna come back because you see it, and then it's like barking at them, and then they get in the camper and start to drive away, and there's one shot they like actually cut away to shoot this fucking pit bull just running, and then it's gone. It's like, wait, I thought they were setting that pit bull up to like be a hero at some point, right? To like, oh, he's about to get killed, and then the pit bull comes in and saves.
I got it. The whole movie runs off the line, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And so whenever there's a character, anything relevant, for a second, you're like, hey, is that going to come back? The movie's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just keep watching me. I don't give a fuck. Like,
well, and it's such like...
It doesn't.
This movie is like... So this was definitely... The script was definitely like a writing project, but I imagine between like 15 guys who are like at a barbecue, barbecuing hot dogs, farting beer, just like... Fuck, it's like, oh, gotta do the military, and it's like every 5 minutes there was something just like jacking off the military,
dude,
and it's like every 5 minutes.
This movie broke its arm jacking itself off.
Oh, so it was like, oh yeah, and it's like let's take 10 minutes out, and then the wife is like, he was like a crack sniper in Fallujah. It's like, oh,
and so this backstory. I'm like, man, that's kind of an asshole to you. You're really fucking nice,
right.
Like. And I just don't know. The whole movie, I'm just like, what?
Every couple of minutes.
Every time a movie was just like, oh, this is what I would do in this situation with the movie.
Right.
The movie's like, again, shut the fuck up, and it just does something totally different.
I also like how the scientist lady. I don't know if that actress. You seem to know her pretty.
Olivia Munn, yeah.
But like. She's just got like this little microscope in the camper, and then she's just like looking at some of this little, like just like a normal microscope, like anybody can get, and it's like, oh, I figured out that like they are pulling out spinal cords to get our DNA to breed themselves to make themselves better hunters. It's like, you got all that from looking in a microscope.
Also, you could have just like the predator could have came down from space and like, bloop, got your DNA.
Right?
Peace.
Yeah.
I don't need any of this shit.
I thought that was hilarious.
That, like, so extra.
they just like know all this stuff, and it just kind of goes back to like, I'm not a big fan of action movies. They're some of my least favorite, like, action spectacles. I do like the first Predator. The whole reason I wanted to see this was because I just bought the first one on Blu-ray, so it was fresh in my mind.
And I'm bummed I didn't watch it with you. I should have rewatched it, because now, like, I've seen the movies enough times. But man, because the end is like no spoilers, but I always love alien movies.
Right.
So if you can ever tie that in a movie, it's gonna be like, oh, good job, I'll give you that. But
I thought they were gonna tie Alien versus Predator
they didn't even mention it.
Not really, no. The scratches on the thing, the whole time I thought maybe that's what that was from, because that is a scene in the first AVP where it like scratches. So I think
if that was a nod,
I think it was supposed to be like, oh, this is the Predator.
The Predator that
from that. But even that, I mean, they do mention the first two Predator films.
They did.
They said they really briefly. They're like, oh, they've been coming here since the late 80s.
Like, well,
and then it became like this whole, they're like coming here to like, because global warming is really bad and we're all gonna be dead.
You can't make a movie that's like, yeah, America, fucking go military, and then also be like, but global warming now.
Right.
So I'll tell you what, a lot of those people probably don't fucking dig that. Just
another indication that like there
audience.
Are a bunch of people probably working on this script. Yeah. Like,
oh, there must have been just fucking everyone and their mom got their own say in this. I just can't believe it did some of the shit they did.
Yeah.
Oh, and I am still trying to process this entire movie. It was so much, and we were sitting so close. It was just kind of getting your ass kicked because it was loud too. It was just like, all right, we get it.
It was just like, it was action porn. The whole thing was like,
not as sci-fi. I think that's a mistake I made. It's not. I always want it to be more of a sci-fi movie.
Me too.
Definitely a fucking. the fact we didn't have beers in our hand while we drank them was actually the biggest travesty.
Yeah.
Because they serve beer here. We just, you know.
And it's like the most recent one, where I think that's supposed to be like a most dangerous game, but set like on some planet. I think I've never seen it. I would be interested to see that one. I thought that was like a cool premise. I didn't know what the premise to this, and I still don't really know what the premise to this one is.
I don't know, and I can't make words. I'm still like so flabbergasted. I at the end of the day would tell people, "Fuck yeah, go see it," because it was so. What the fuck?
But
to be fair, I went to go see The Meg not too long ago, and it was very much in the same vein.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, because we were talking about it before we got to the theaters. Kind of unrelated, but I'll bring it back. Blumhouse making horror movies for like high school kids, PG-13 all the time. Cool, they know their audience. What I'm saying with this is, apparently there's like dudes from 35 till about 55 with fucking tribal band tattoos, tap out t-shirts. Apparently that's enough of a fucking market to make The Meg, fucking
Predator,
because that's who this was the most directed towards. Like, they're riding Harleys off in the fucking. I mean, if it was made for like our generation, it would have been like.
I mean, the whole thing too. It's just like, you know, don't be a pussy. And then like the joke,
shut the fuck up.
And then the joke is, well, he called me a pussy, and well, I mean, it's totally just for like, this is like a movie for men, you know?
Yeah,
This is your movie for like the flyover states, you know? You know how they say like, you know that, like Trump won because of the flyover states.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's just kind of like wholesome Americans.
I thought you meant like a movie you'd watch on a flight. I'm like, actually, not about a movie for a flight. You'd just be really confused when you get off the plane.
2 fucking hours. No, this is like a movie for like middle America, you know? It's kind of just, I mean, it's just like an American movie about, you know, it's like glorifying soldiers, but they're also killing like American soldiers because they're badass rogue soldiers who no one understands. And it's like,
see, I know
even the comedy was that way.
A lot of friends and family that were in the military, and they don't go see movies for that reason. My dad maybe, but I don't think that's what would drive him to go to the movie. But I don't know how much of a script needs to fucking really heavy-fisted, like, okay, we get it, guys. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, like, the main takeaways from this movie is, like, being a sniper in the military is awesome.
Yeah. And you gotta... I know.
You can tell whoever you want to shut the fuck up at any time.
Anytime, especially if it's your leading actress, apparently. You can just tell her to shut the fuck up. I didn't think that was very cool.
Another thing about this movie that I thought was funny was the fact that they, like, the people that, like, the screenwriters, I'm sure, like, really had a problem with calling the Predator a predator. Because, like, at least 3 different times you had them, like, sit there and go, well, you know, that's not a predator. Like, a predator kills for food. This is more like a hunter. It's like, all right, we got it. You only needed to say that once too. You didn't need to sit there and like harp on the past films for calling this thing a predator, because it's more like a bass fisherman. Who gives a like? Has anyone ever thought that? Has anyone?
Not why
it's like the same assholes who like are like, oh, that Alanis Morissette song "Ironic" has nothing ironic in it. It's like, is that it? Is that your only problem with it? Yeah, they did that like 3 times.
Yeah, the name calling, the fact that people were just able to start using more alien shit and just know, like, and there's a point where the kid's like 86 toothpicks. I mean, not really Rain Man, that's not
right.
But I mean, the little kid fucking could pop in that shit, and I hate that shit in movies. You have little kids that just sort of like fucking, nope, we could get this guy from MIT who's been studying alien spaceware for 40 years, or we can have this kid with Asperger's, like 13. Actually, he might even be 11 or 12.
That was another really weird, like, another weird little plot point that made it feel like it was like 15 different people writing this, because all of a sudden then, all out of fucking nowhere that, like, the kid has Asperger's, and then it's like the predator is hunting him because, some people say that that's not a disability, that's actually, people with Asperger's is like the next step in evolution. So now the predator wants to tear the little kid's spine out because he's really like...
And he had plenty of opportunities to do it too. I don't know what the fuck was taking.
Right, and then it was just like, they have this thing that can like translate what the predator is saying, and it like translates and it's like, oh, I'm gonna kill, basically the little kid. You're supposed to think it's his dad, but turns out it's the little kid because he's clearly the best hunter among you. It's like, well, I mean...
just because he can talk to your helmet doesn't make him, like...
And even if that's true, right? Okay, he's got Asperger's, that means that he's, like, the next step in evolution. That doesn't make him a better hunter.
Yeah.
Smarter doesn't necessarily mean a better hunter. I thought that... Because they said...
Many subplots.
I just
can't even... Every 10 minutes, something new.
Yeah, something new.
Like, I would have watched the whole movie, it feels like, alright, kid with Asperger's. Fine. We can talk to the alien.
Right.
Whoa. How do we just let that slide?
Or like the whole yeah, right? You just let that slide, and like the fucking scene where they've got the predator like in this base and they're studying him, and you're there for like 3 minutes, and then the predator's up and gone, and it's like, wow, that could have been its own movie too. Like this government program to like study the predators, and then another one comes to like rescue it or kill it or whatever. I don't know.
I gave the movie more credit than it deserved, because when the kid put the helmet on and he could like see what happened to the other one, where he had like it told a visual story with some insanely loud music in the background. I was like, wow, this is visual storytelling. Going back to film 101, Predator, good job.
Yeah.
Wasn't the case, because they totally explained, like, oh, if you didn't have enough exposition, we're going to throw a bunch of that down your throat in, like, 5, 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean? He's killed 140 people, and blah, 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 with the sniper. It's like, no, we got the point. He was a sniper.
Right, yeah.
Well, so one thing...
The whole movie opens with him being a sniper.
He was sniping.
And then he gets arrested, and he's like, well, that's what I am. I'm a sniper. It makes me a trained killer. And who was that guy? Who was that actor?
Oh,
Who is that?
The poor man's version of the dude from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
And he's just like... Every now and then he would be fine, and then there were certain scenes all of a sudden where he was like, seemed like he was really hamming it up. Like there were certain scenes where he was like, oh, I have the potential to be the next action star. So all of a sudden, like randomly, it's like he would remember that, and then the scene he'd be like,
well, and the thing
like
is,
12 people in Fallujah. It's like, okay, like where did this come from?
In the movie also, one of its Julian side plots could have just been, it could all be one giant allegory for mental health and PTSD.
Right.
This whole film is like, oh, okay.
Everything was kind of about
people, even the Predator has another monster in his closet. Oh,
right,
bigger Predator.
Right, yeah.
Oh, we don't have monsters in the closet. We should all talk. No, the whole thing was just like,
yeah.
Okay, and I totally agree. We should not have PTSD. I'm like, how are we gonna help this? Like,
I think you're onto something there, because the Predator who did originally come, who got killed, who's coming here to tell us
right
something.
His wrongs.
Yeah. He's the one who had the scratched mask, which means he survived the war with the aliens.
Tell us some shit. Either warn us about them, some other bullshit, the mix of the two. I mean, it's a million things. But yeah, that's what it took a lot of processing after watching that fucking movie. But wow, that if I'm not gonna give it that much credit though.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's so hammy. I know that was part of their ploy. Is like, all right, mental health issues, guys, really popular. Right. Let's make that a huge staple point. Go. But wait, there's Predator.
I mean, I knew that this movie wasn't gonna be gold.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be like Shawshank Redemption.
I didn't think that I would come away liking it. You know,
I wanted to. I really wanted to.
I didn't think so. So like, I'm not like angry at the movie or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost exactly what I expected from this movie. I thought that
kind of more carnage. I mean, it was actually pretty.
There were some gory parts. I don't know. Yeah. It's almost exactly what I expected. I actually expected maybe a little bit more of a remake of the first one. I thought the whole thing was going to take place in the jungle.
I gotcha. You thought it was just going to be a remake completely.
Yeah. Well, not that it was going to be a remake, just that the whole movie was going to be set in the jungle, with some mercenaries trying to, thought it was going to be like the same thing.
Yeah, everyone and their mom kind of had a stab at, like...
And it went all over. It, like, went from the jungle to, like, small town America, back to, like, the forest.
Like, when you're in your basement and all of a sudden an alien hand comes down and, like, rips a guy in half.
Right.
Oh, I mean, we get it. We're definitely not safe here, but that's what I think a lot of the dope shit about the first one isn't there, because you see him the whole time.
Right.
And also the jungle is just super sketchy to find.
Yeah. And in the first one, the Predator spent a lot of time invisible, and a lot of it was, the soldiers trying to, like, lay traps or trying to, like, detect him. And then, like, the whole thing at the end, Schwarzenegger, like, basically naked with no weapon, and the Predator takes off his shit, and it's like kind of this whole thing of, like, shedding, like, I don't know, I don't even know. It's just about, I don't know, it's about who's stronger, brother. That's kind of what the first one is, and I don't know what this one is really
I kind of feel like I need to go, like, watch a documentary to, like, get the IQ points I lost back.
Yeah.
Like, something, like, really insightful. Like, oh, go watch,
this is a movie that I'm sure a lot of people are going to really like. I mean, it's just one of those movies.
Yeah, my dad's a good person for, like, action movies. He watches a lot of them, and
anybody who likes action movies, I think, would really like it.
Yeah. I guess it was. Did it achieve what it was trying to do? Do you think it succeeded in being?
For sure.
If it's trying to just be like, go get him, brother.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy shit like that, then yeah.
Yeah, this
totally
movie and The Meg and it's. I think if you showed this to, like, its target audience, like men 18 to 35, I bet most of them would say, "Oh yeah, that was good." The action scenes were good. The gore was good enough. Predator looked cool.
Yeah, that big Predator was just like, oh damn.
The comedy was, like, funny.
There were about 2 times where I actually caught myself laughing out loud. I was like, it was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Oh my god, I can't remember. Just because there's so much other silly shit, but it was great. It's exactly that. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
Again, still the most bum part was I didn't bro out more and get, like, a beer and while watching this. That was the biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Definitely turn your brain off for this, or IQ or brain synapses going off don't even exist for this.
Yeah.
Just, like, tune out. And
there wasn't much complexity to this film. It was what it was.
Yeah, didn't go in there looking for it, but it was
didn't really expect it.
Just in case you thought by any means you should be
Here's, before we go, I guess this is probably what anybody who's taking our stupid opinion would want is, if you're a fan of the first one, would you like this one? And I'm a fan of the first one. I'm not a mega fan of it, so maybe my opinion is a little bit skewed. In my opinion, you'll like it better than the Alien vs. Predator movies.
Yeah.
And maybe even better than the second one with Danny Glover and Gary Busey. But I mean, I don't think anything's gonna come close to the first one.
Yeah.
So it just kind of falls in line. I think if you're a fan of the Predator movies, you probably would enjoy seeing this movie. You might not buy it, you might not own it on Blu-ray.
That's a whole other.
But
be fair, I mean, yeah.
But I think you would have fun watching it.
And I'm coming from the angle of, if you're a Predator fan, are you more the whole universe that they've created, Alien and Predator? Because I think if you encapsulate all those films together, and then you add this to it, you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be more like, what's the really goofy Alien movie? Not Aliens.
Resurrection.
Yeah, that's just a little hammy. Yeah. It's more like that version.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Yeah. It's definitely the resurrection for Predator. That's for sure. It's definitely.
Yeah. If you don't
Predator
like Alien versus
Resurrection.
Predator, then I don't see why you would.
Oh, is it canon or a spinoff? No, it's canon. It is trying to be within the timeline of sorts, but very loosely. Like I said, they mention, we saw these Predators in 87, so they're referencing the first one, and then he says in 97, which I remember sitting there going, is Predator 2 really from 97? That seems late.
10 years?
That seems really late. I figured early 90s, but he said 87 and 97.
Just
and then, yeah, that's how he said it. And then, like I said, the mask that they have, the military has, some Predator memorabilia that they, don't even reference. It's like, look at all this shit that we've collected.
Planet Hollywood, here's your mac and cheese, and here's some Predator stuff.
The Predator that they have prisoner ends up, smashing the glass and using this old Predator shit briefly. But it's got scratches on it, which I think are the scratches from Alien versus Predator. So it's definitely canon. It's it's not a reboot to the series. I don't know, like I said, I haven't seen the Adrian Brody Predators, so I don't know if it is trying to tie into that one. But as far as I can tell, I think it was trying to fit in with the first one, the second one, and AVP, apparently. So, no, I mean, it's part of the series.
Yeah. And it's weird, because in the past, handful of years when they're doing remakes, if it's a huge, long franchise, man, they're being really picky and choosy. What I've noticed, like this, and then I imagine Halloween, from what I've heard, is just... It ignores all of them, but the first one,
yeah.
It's the fuck?
Which is one of those things where it's that question. It's is this canon? Is this part of the series? It's not. Well, it's funny. The Godzilla Millennium series did the same thing. Every new movie in the Millennium series was this is a reboot. I'm sick of that. Just continue the story.
Yeah. Let's get to know Godzilla more.
Yeah.
What really makes him tick?
No, it was just there would always be scenes where it's we haven't seen this creature since 1954. It's
guys, fuck, stop.
I'm tired of taking the 20 minutes to have in every single movie them saying we haven't seen. He's presumed dead. It's he's not. I'm watching the movie.
Especially if a huge fan like you are, look, I kind of understand how the fuck this started.
Right.
Take an extra step. It's kind of like having fucking Maggie in The Simpsons always being a kid. It's we get that shtick, but her character can never develop, and we want to see the story
it's
develop.
Nice when in the earlier Godzilla films, though, I guess what I mean by that is Godzilla shows up in the first one, and then from there on out everyone's just Godzilla exists.
We got Godzilla.
Yeah, he's a thing, and other monsters show up, and it's they show up.
This kind of shit goes down like this sometimes.
But back to Predators.
Back to Predators.
Yeah, it's canon. It's trying to follow the story. It's better than the Alien versus Predator movies.
Yeah. But don't think of you're all highbrow if you watch both of them, because they're made for the same people. This one didn't do as well. I imagine this one is getting cleaned up at the box office because we just spent $20 to go see it. And,
I mean, I would recommend seeing it if you like the other movies. If you're not a fan of them or not a fan of action, No, I wouldn't see it, but
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just really every time I thought they were gonna do something, they put down their balls on the table and they just made the wildest decision. So yeah, that's either a good thing or a bad thing considering what you're looking for in a movie. I was entertained.
Yeah.
For most of it.
Yeah, it was good. It's a good way to kill a couple hours.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say. You got anything else?
Still just this is my face for a lot of it. So it's just like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
Well, other than that, stay tuned. Like I said, I dropped the promo thing, so October got some stuff coming up. I was actually gonna shoot and try to speed edit a video tonight, but instead Josh said, "Hey, you want to go see a movie?" So we thought we'd do this instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, got a couple of things we're working on. So
yeah,
stay tuned, guys.
We're planning Halloween next. We're gonna try our damnedest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, we do. We have to go see Halloween. That'll be a live video as well. All right. Later.
Peace.